Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Putty, and welcome back to another edition of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. We are here, I think, in the Capitol Gardens? Yes, outside the main city of DC, and despite the collapse of the wrestling industry, the collapse of the American economy, we're still rolling, we're still going. 2022, we may be 6 years into a Donald Trump presidency. But we're still rolling here in the Capitol Gardens. We're still doing fantastic Mid-Atlantic Wrestling live from them. And indeed, tonight is the proving ground as I come to you from a piping hot day here in the UK. So it has been a piping hot week here in the last week of May. Tonight is the night, of course, that we have our annual, Hot Prospects tournament. And tonight it is going to be a fine one. Actually, I just realized that I haven't actually got the bracket for you guys this time around. So if I just pop on the anti-spoiler real quick, I'll ghetto it up a bit, shall we? Shall we ghetto things up a bit? I haven't done this in a couple of years. Oh, I haven't done this at all in the series. But I have done it. I did it in the old MAW series, so some people might remember this. But here you go. Oh, that's not right. Huh. What the hell happened there? That's weird. That's very weird. Why is that looking like that? That is very odd. Huh. That is very, very odd indeed. So wait, if I move this off screen... Oh, there you go. You guys, it's kind of working. Almost there. Almost sorted. There you go. Nope. Alright, well. You guys saw it for a second. I'm gonna fix that. I'm not gonna be able to show you the bracket it looks like. Unless I upload the picture right now. Which would be a huge shame, or I restarted the video. But essentially, actually, this is a better way of doing it. Here you go. Let's show you the matches. Here you go. Here are the first... Oh, nope. Well, this is the most unorganized episode I have done in a very long time. But there you go. That's the bracket. We have David Salmon, Frederick Shale, Court Bernard, Dylan Laundrie, Mitchell Rogers, Angle Liddell, Gary Walker, and Adam Lannister. Those are our participants in our tournament tonight. Apologies for the unprofessionalism that has gone into the start of this show, but let's just roll right with it. It's usually an ugly show. We have got a lot of young, a lot of green participants tonight who are going to have a big chance to be in our main event of the evening, which is, of course, Ernest Youngman defending against the winner of the Hot Prospects tournament. His big opportunity on the line tonight. But they are still green. They're all either 23 years or younger, or have been in the business for 3 years or under. And, of course, we have Gary Walker, who was trained in the Mid-Atlantic Dojo here, and none of the rest were. Aside from that, let's get into the show, shall we? We open things up with David Salmon taking on Frederick Shale. David Salmon is a pure out-and-out brawler, a very big lad. You know, you can see the tribal heritage in the way he carries himself, the way he provides. Meanwhile, we have Frederick Shale, who is just a brutal athlete, a current member of the TCW roster. And he is a mixture, you know, he's a very George Wolfe-esque character. He's a mixture of a down-to-earth, really solid brawler, but he's got those technical chops, that technical acumen that can let him go toe-to-toe. Huh, did you guys see that? Did you guys see that command prompt just pop up? That's been happening to me today, and I'm very concerned that it is a virus of some sort, so I'm going to have to try and solve that. Hopefully this video will prove a good tool to do so. That's almost 4 minutes in. Okay, I'll have to check that later, see if I can figure out what the hell it is. But anyway, yeah. So yes, Frederick Shale is a very George Wolfe-esque character, a very competent grappler, but also mainly sticks to his big brawling. And these two are both really big lads. In fact, most of the field are bigger lads this time around. And indeed, we have a kind of a back and forth, pretty brawly match between these two before finally Frederick Shale shows his quality, shows his wrestling ability, and puts away David Salmon here with some sort of submission hold. We move on to the second match of the tournament as Court Bernard and Dylan Laundrie go head to head. Court Bernard, of course, very reminiscent of Beelzebub, very reminiscent of Tyson Bane, the demon himself, the original demon before Scythe came along. who, of course, led the early days of TCW, was the big monster heel over there. He's a big lad, big brawler, and he takes it to Dylan Laundrie, who's the smaller type. He's one of the smallest competitors in the tournament tonight. He's a lightweight, he's slim, he's trim, he's a quick technician, he's a small, quick, technical wrestler as he tries to kind of work the legs of the big man, try and take down the big man, chop off his advantages, but unfortunately, there's just too much power, too much raw physicality from Court Bernard, and he picks up the victory with that darkness side slam, moving on to the semi-finals to take on Frederick Shale. And then we have a match between Angel Liddell, or Angel Liddell. Angel Liddell probably sounds better. And, this wasn't even a jobber versus jobber match, just a bad match, as he takes on Mitchell Rogers. Mitchell Rogers is a pure out-and-out brawler, very reminiscent of Jungle Jack, just willing to use his fists to try and pound his opponent into submission, whereas Angel Liddell kind of represents a lot of the big names over the last couple of years, more of a jack-of-all-trades pseudo-brawlers, mixing in that brawling style with a few suplexes here and there. Angel Liddell, of course, just generally using a lot of moves to pop the crowd and put together a sequence of holds that hopefully excite people. Sadly, it doesn't quite work. People aren't excited by Angel Liddell tonight. And in the end, he does pick up the victory over Mitchell Rogers, moves on to the semi-finals where he's going to be taking on... Oh, that's not good. Our very own Gary Walker, as he defeats Adam Lannister. Adam Lannister, very unique character in this tournament, of course. He is a... very, very unique character. He is fast and small, and he is a very apt technician. But when I describe to you a fast and small technician, he's not exactly what you expect when I give you that pure description, because Adam Lannister doesn't have a typical wrestling body. Adam Lannister is a little flabbier. Adam Lannister is a little less in shape, but he's still got that speed. He's still small in terms of height. Hell, he's still small in terms of weight. He's just not shaped. He's a very petite frame with a lot of poundage on it, and indeed he uses that poundage to kind of get a bit of an advantage in his matches. Indeed, he uses that poundage to really outpower people at times, despite being a technician at heart. And indeed, despite his appearance, he carries himself with a lot of swagger, carries himself with a lot of confidence, a lot of cocky attitude that we see from Adam Lannister tonight as he tries to brutishly destroy Gary Walker, going hold to hold, working over every limb Gary Walker has. But Gary Walker has too much heart. He has too much passion. We've seen it before. Gary Walker, was an announcer only 2 years ago. He got picked on. He got bullied by Logan Wolfsbane, a former Mid-Atlantic Wrestling champion, and he fought back, and he decided to get himself trained. He went to the Mid-Atlantic Dojo. He qualified as a professional wrestler, and he's here tonight in the Hot Prospects tournament to prove everybody wrong and to prove that he is one of the most heart-filled competitors in the business today. And indeed, tonight, he showed his heart. He fought back against a guy like Adam Lannister, a very unique character with his hardy punches, his hardy brawling, and he worked from underneath and picks up the victory with his sunset flip powerbomb, which is getting a new name after this recording. As we move on to the first semi-final match. But before that, we go to the interview area where Sweet Tabitha is interviewing James Diaz, and Sweet Tabitha says, James, you lost your big match at where it all begins again for the Mid-Atlantic Championship. Can we get a statement from you as to how you feel about that defeat and what you're going to be doing going forward to assure that it doesn't happen again? And James Diaz, looks angry, he looks upset, but he's ready to answer the question, and he looks up at Sweet Tabitha, and then he looks, across at the audience, and he picks up the microphone, but before he can answer the question, in comes MC Motormouth, who we have not seen in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling before, who pops onto the screen with a microphone in his hands and says, James, don't answer that question. Sweet Tabitha, my name is MC Motormouth, and I am the hottest rising management specialist in the business today. James Diaz, you don't need to answer any of the questions she gives you. You don't need to answer to anyone. Trust me. You want to know why you lost? I got all the answers for you. I got all the answers for why you lost. And if you stick with me, James, I can make you into more than just a monster. James Diaz, I can make you into a star. What do you say, James? Shake my hand and make a statement. James Diaz looks MC Motormouth up and down and says, make a statement, huh? He drops the mic and walks off without shaking his hand. James Diaz and MC Motormouth with an interesting interaction here as we move into the semi-finals of the Hot Prospects tournament, where Frederick Shale defeats Court Bernard by submission. Indeed, Court Bernard trying to use that brutal, brawling style that worked against Dylan Laundrie in the quarterfinals. But Frederick Shale is a lot bigger than Dylan is. Frederick is a lot bigger than Dylan Dylan Laundrie. Dylan Laundrie was a technician, similar to Shale in a lot of ways, but Shale is a monster. He's a machine. He's a physical freak. You know, we said before, think about George Wolfe. Think about a big man who's in the gym week in, week out, great genetics, a guy who looks like he belongs in this business and has a head on his shoulders that can carry him all the way. You know, he's got those fists of steel and he can work a hold. That's exactly what Frederick Shale is, and Court Bernard's brutal, monsterish, brawling style is not gonna fit with the man, the myth, the machine, Frederick Shale, who ends up working over the monster and picking up the victory by submission. And indeed, he will be joined in the finals by Gary Walker, who picks up the victory against Angel Liddell. Angel Liddell bringing his jack-of-all-trades style, moving between fast-paced, high-risk offense to technical wrestling to brawling, but he's up there against Gary Walker. And Gary Walker is also Angel Liddell, a drunkard, has bad chemistry with both of his opponents in the tournament. That's a bad sign, Angle. You're going in the blacklist. You will be officially the first person it's exact 6 years. This save has gone on as long as the Donald Trump presidency in kayfabe. No, but yes, in 6 years you will be the first man to get on my blacklist because you are an absolute mess. But yes, Gary Walker has that heart. He has that passion. He had to fight. He had to claw. He had to scratch to even get in the wrestling business. And then he was only an announcer. He had to fight. He had to claw. He had to scratch to become a wrestler. And now he is not going to give up. He is not going to give up without a fight. And he shows his heart. And he brawls with the best of them. And Gary Walker picks up the victory. I think we're going straight into the finals. So if we are, yeah. Yes, we are, and it is a good match indeed, as Frederick Shale tries to work Gary Walker down. He is a big lad. Gary's a big lad too, you know, he looks the part. He's trim. He's cut. He's probably like 240, 245 pounds. Something like that. But you look at someone like Frederick Shale, 260, ripped to the core. Absolute huge freak of nature. TCW graduate in a national company. Has the head on his shoulders to take him all the way. He has the excellent technical wrestling and fantastic brawling style. And he works down Gary Walker. He beats down Gary Walker. He's clearly got the edge, but Gary Walker has the heart, and you can't keep that much heart down as Gary Walker fires up, fires back, uses those fists that he's proven throughout the entire tournament are absolutely deadly when he's got the passion behind them, and that's all he's got right now is fire and passion, and that's exactly what he does in this match, firing back with the passion that he is known for and picking up that big victory, lifting the Hot Prospects tournament and earning a shot at the Mid-Atlantic Championship. And that is next, folks. But before that, we head to the interview area where the champ is here. And Ernest Youngman gets on the mic and he says, "Sweet Tabitha, baby girl, I have been this champion for 2 years now, and I am proud to say this is my second opportunity to test a young lad. And I gotta say, the young lad that I get to test tonight is a man that I've known a very long time. He was a great announcer. He was an exceptional announcer when he stood up to Logan Wolfsbane. He earned a lot of respect in my eyes. I saw him train. I saw him learn professional wrestling, and he's taken to it quicker than anybody I've ever seen. He's got fire, he's got heart, and he's got passion. But you're looking at a man who's got more fire, more heart, and more passion than anyone you've ever seen. I got more fire than the volcanoes of Pompeii. I'm the wrestling machine. I'm the best there's ever been, and I am the champ." And you know, I have look at Gary Walker and I'm going to say the same thing about him that I said about Team Progress. In the future, sometime probably soon, his time will be then. But my time is now. And I've said it once and I will say it again. The future goes through me. I've taken down legends. I've taken down monsters. I've slain James Diaz. I've slain the Mean Machine. Scythe lays at my feet. Logan Wolfsbane in the L column against Ernest Youngman. I beat George Wolfe. I beat Kamikaze. I've beaten everybody in this damn territory because I am the best. And tonight, I have another name to this legendary title reign. Thank you. Ernest Youngman fired up, excited, and ready for this main event of the evening. And in A60C, of course, these two have a very good match. Ernest Youngman, of course, the wrestling machine with a wink and a smile, locks in every single technical wrestling maneuver under the sun, working limb to limb, going hold to hold with the youngster Gary Walker, and the youngster Gary Walker knows this is one of his biggest ever opportunities, and he fires up, and he is passionate, and he is brutal. Not brutal necessarily, but he is a brawling sensation tonight. He's a flurry of fists. An absolute flurry of fists, but you can see that he's tired. He has had 3 other matches tonight, and that's one of the flaws of this tournament system. The challenger goes into this match with 3 matches already under his belt in the same night, and you can see the tiredness. And if there's one thing that Ernest Youngman's style capitalizes on the most, it's tiredness. And Ernest begins to work down Gary Walker and gain the advantage, but just when this match is about to heat up and get good, the return of the monster, James Diaz, arrives to brutalize Ernest Youngman, instantly earning a disqualification. Ernest Youngman retains his championship, but the monster's not done yet, as he whips Ernest from pillar to post, beating the shit out of him and making a statement. The monster is not yet done with the champ. Alright, I'm not sure whether it was better or worse than last year's show, but it could have gone a hell of a lot worse, that's for damn sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed this year's. I did a little bit of cursory research on competitors beforehand this time around, and hopefully that provided for some more interesting matches. If it did, let me know in the comments below. Aside from that, if you enjoyed the episode, leave a thumbs up, check out the rest of the series, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're feeling especially generous, there's a link to my Patreon in the description. If you want to hear me ramble about random shit, there's a link to my Twitter in the description. And aside from that, I really would like to thank you all for watching. It's been a wonderful day. I'm going to try and hopefully book a few more shows today. But good lord, the heat is killing me here in the UK. Well, hopefully not literally. My radiator will not turn off, and that worries me. But these are all going to be scheduled anyway. So the sad thing is that if something ever happened to me, these videos would still come out, and nobody would even give a shit. So there you go. If my videos stop in mid-July, then that means that the UK heat literally murdered me. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyway, I hope to see you guys next time, and peace out.